way to the house, so thought I'd get a little boxing blog in, just talk some boxing. So, all right, so we're approximately a little less than a week away. Well, a little less than a week and some change away from the Super Showdown between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. It was kind of funny. I'm gonna talk about that later on. Just talk about, what then transpired in the aftermath and what could possibly happen no matter who wins. But yeah, we're close. And I just can't wait for the fight to happen. Just period, as a boxing fan. And I'm glad that Scotty brought something up, aka World Combat Sports, and he said something that I've been talking about, what I've been trying to, orchestrate and let everybody and try to get everybody to understand this is our fight for the culture. But then you had a bunch of cornballs and knuckleheads, divide the community in behind this because they wanted to be fanboys and they wanted you to be a supporter of one particular fighter. And if you didn't support that fighter, they had an issue with you. And that's really disappointing. But at the end of the day, I saw people's true colors and I saw what bitch boys a lot of these dudes was. Just goes to show you, no matter how old you are and how much you go to the gym and train, you still, and all that type of stuff, you still can conduct yourself and act like a cornball, and just a whole bunch of other things. But, that's another video for another day. So I'm going to talk about this situation with Devin Haney. Mauricio Sulaiman is one of the most inconsistent, hypocritical dudes that's out there. This dude shows blatant favoritism towards certain fighters. And he just gets in his own way a lot of the time. Just like he's basically interfering with us getting undisputed between Arthur Beterbiev and, Dimitri Bivol. He's interfering with that, trying to play politics. And it ain't even your job to play politics. Your job is to help get fights made and the fans can get the best fights available. But he want to try to lay down the law with Devin Haney, but then Tyson Fury been holding the belt hostage forever. He can't seem to come to a deal to fight Usyk, and he get to fight Francis Ngannou. At the end of the day, people go, boy did it, so here we go. And I think his title is going to be on the line. And this is what I'm saying about Mauricio Sulaiman. The dude is consistent at being inconsistent, but yet he trying to put pressure on Devin Haney to either make a decision by Friday or they may possibly make him vacate the belt. Now, in all likelihood, as I've been telling you and I've been consistent with this, it is just highly unlikely that Devin Haney is going to fight at 135 again. I'm talking about it'll take like some super money. We talking about in the tens maybe, or close to the tens for Devin to stay at 135. So in all likelihood, he's going to go up to 140. And as I told you, they haven't gotten no other offers from Top Rank for Teofimo or Shakur Stevenson, so that's just not factual. Now, at the end of the day, you're going to have narrative pushers trying to insinuate Devin Haney is ducking somebody. Listen, Devin Haney ain't ducking nobody. Devin Haney will fight anybody. And if you don't know that by now, something is seriously wrong with you. You can't sit up there and complain about him if he elects to fight Regis Prograis and say, oh, well, Regis Prograis, that's a weak fight. Well, just a month ago, y'all was saying that, you know, Devin Haney should fight Regis Prograis if he moves up or he's ducking him. Now you saying because of what happened with Regis Prograis in his last fight, oh, now it's cherry pick. You guys got to make up y'all mind, man. You can't have it both ways. You guys are all over the place. You guys just make up stuff. He's not ducking Shakur Stevenson. He's not ducking Tank. And once again, Tank has not made a formal offer. I heard it straight from Team Haney that the only offer that they have received is from Eddie Hearn. That's it. That's all. They haven't received any other offers. It's the promoter's job, the main promoter, to make the fight. Eddie Hearn Matchroom is the main promoter. It's their job, you know, to try to set other fights up. But then at the end of the day, Devin Haney is a promotional free agent. They've had meetings with Bob Arum about possible fights, future fights. At the end of the day, Devin is in a good position. Like I said before, it's funny. Canelo, he can do whatever he want to do. He can make up weight classes. Nobody says nothing. Nobody questions him. He can sit up here and fight a dude that ain't never had a fight at 168. But nobody questions him. So that's why I don't take Mauricio Sulaiman serious, because like I said, the dude is consistent at being inconsistent. He just makes up stuff. First he said you couldn't fight for, you know, the franchise belt. It was just sort of like it was sort of like what you would call an MVP award or something like that. It was along the lines of MVP. Then all of a sudden he said you could fight for it. So, I mean, this dude just changes his mind, you know, like the weather. You know, he's hot and cold. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just up and down. You know, he would make a great politician. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure he would make a great politician. Hold on, you guys. So, you know, I had to get out of the glare of the sun and stuff. So, you know, I can't be, you know what I'm saying, trying to do this and then trying to keep the glare out of the sun, you know, because it was looking directly at me. But basically, based off the route of the freeway, it's kind of like I'm driving out of the view of the sun, so it won't affect my vision and stuff. But nevertheless, that's just the truth. So for people that's gonna make videos talking about Devin is ducking, you a damn lie. But we already know that's what this is all about. You know, a lot of this stuff, people are not objective. Me myself, like I said, I have people that I favor over other people, but I do try to be objective. I really do. And I do try to have some journalistic integrity when it comes to doing this boxing stuff, at least for the most part. So I am guilty of that, favoring other fighters over others. But if you follow my channel, for the most part, I try to be fair. But yeah, getting back to Sulaiman, the dude is just all 140 and 5 Regis Prograis. Then in all likelihood, that means making the 135 title. So what happens then? Now you hearing about Lomachenko being interested in a Tank fight. I'll get to that later. Now, what you could have, because Frank Martin, he won an eliminator bout, so he's in the mix. Then it's Shakur Stevenson, but Shakur Stevenson would be the mandatory, because they gave Devin Haney this deadline basically to try to basically start negotiations either with Regis or Shakur Stevenson. But more than likely, he'll be going up to 140. So now you would probably have Shakur versus Lomachenko? What the one, would there be interference and resistance in making the fight? Because we all know there is a history and there's have been a long line of difficulties getting these promotional companies to work together. Now, it has gotten a little bit better because you have Steve Fulton, who will be fighting next week against Anui in Japan, which I'm going to talk about that before I end the video, about how Anui is being, acting like a spoiled brat over random drug testing. Oh yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. Like I said, the biggest hurdle is going to be, once again, can you get these fights made without this stuff about networks and all this kind of stuff? I think to a certain degree, I think that's lame now, and I just think that that should get through out of the equation. But the problem is, you can't get a hold of Al Haymon to see what does he want to do pertaining to these fights, because we all know that you can't get an interview with Al Haymon. Al Haymon doesn't come to fights anymore, and then he doesn't do interviews. And I think that's why people, to a certain degree, have an issue with Al Haymon, because his name is always coming out of these PBC fighters' mouths, and people feel like, well, damn, we would at least like to hear what's going on with Al Haymon, and Al Haymon give us, at least an update on what's going on, or just keep us posted. But I don't think Al Haymon does internet. I don't think he does social media, and I think that's the frustrating part with him, because you can't never, talk to the guy. And I have to admit, I have an issue with that, because I feel like a lot of stuff could get cleared up if Al Haymon would make himself available to the media, at least every once in a while. At least do a conference call, but he doesn't talk to people. So I think that's why people, why a lot of people have issues with Al Haymon. Is it justified? I think to a certain degree you could say it's justified, because we would like to just, see what makes this guy tick and at least get clarity on what's going on. But all the secret stuff, and him just having people kind of like talk on his behalf, and then they ain't really talking on his behalf. That's why you have a lot of this stuff. And this is why people sit up there and say the stuff they say about the PBC and say stuff about Al Haymon, because it's like you can't talk to the guy. So I do think Al Haymon could do a better job of making himself available to the media every once in a while, at least get something out of the dude, or at least, issue a statement via social media. But he doesn't do none of that stuff. So, excuse me, hold on, you guys. Yo, do this again. So I'm back. Had that glare again. So now let me talk about this rumor about Vasily Lomachenko being interested in a fight with Tank Davis. You hear that he's interested in a fight with Tank Davis? Well, I'm thinking two things. If Vasily Lomachenko is interested in a fight with Tank, he basically looking for a payday. And basically, he's saying he's ready to retire because no Tank Davis. And I know you Lomachenko fans don't want to hear that. you know, whatever you call him, White Jesus or whatever, or Caesar cut, he not beating no Tank. And I'm telling you right now, Tank is gonna knock Lomachenko out. He gonna stop Lomachenko within 6 rounds. And when I say that Tank is gonna brutally knock out Lomachenko, he's gonna sleep Lomachenko. And I know it's hurting you Lomachenko fans to hear that, but it's the truth. So I'm thinking that if he wants to go at Lomachenko, he wants that to be his retirement fight. Now the question is, once again, that would come down to Bob and Top Rank. Would they want to make a fight like that? Because it would be easier for them to make Tank versus Shakur Stevenson. But if Lomachenko is offered like a big payday to fight Tank, then more than likely he'll go fight Tank, and that'll probably be his last fight. Because I can tell you right now, if he gets brutally knocked out by Tank, it's not that anybody will be interested in the Shakur Stevenson fight. And then based off what's been going on with Tank, a lot of things that would be right up Tank Davis' alley to fight somebody like Vasyl Lomachenko, because a lot of people are starting to accuse Tank Davis of going the Floyd Mayweather route, and you know what I mean by the Floyd Mayweather route. Now, for everybody's sake, I hope that isn't true about Tank, but a lot of people are starting to think that about Tank, that he's going the Floyd Mayweather route, that basically he may go on this tour where he fighting a lot of dudes with Hispanic last names. And I don't want to see that, and I think a lot of people don't want to see that. Do I think Tank would fight those dudes? Yeah, I think for the most part, I think Tank would fight those dudes. But once again, they come down to, well, the PBC allow him to fight those kind of guys. We all know why he fought Ryan Garcia, and that just proves my point. Even though most people with common sense already knew that fight the way that it went. Everybody pretty much in their mama knew that Tank was gonna knock out Ryan Garcia, that Ryan Garcia was gonna be seeing stars. And I ain't talking about the TV network that he was gonna be, you know what I'm saying? I don't think nobody thought that Tank was gonna lose to Ryan Garcia. I already told you guys when the fight was first made official, I said that Tank was gonna knock Ryan Garcia out. I thought it would be worse than what it was, but you know, he stopped him. You know, he stopped him. But like I said, do I think they're gonna make Shakur versus Tank? Not unless they necessary, unequivocally have no other choice. I'm talking about unless it's just, you know what I'm saying? They may have to go to court to get that fight made. Because we all know the drill. Like I said, I don't have no, I don't have no hope in that fight getting made anytime soon. Like I said, we already know why Ryan Garcia and Tank got made. Where Shakur, that's a far more dangerous fight for Tank because of his skill set. And then as far as Shakur versus Frank Martin, once again, will that fight get made? It should get made, but will it get made? And that's always the damn problem. We sit up here anticipating and wishing we could get these fights made, and then for the most part, we can't get these fights made because of just a bunch of goofy shit. I just wish all these promoters would just step out of the way and let nature take its course and give us the best possible fights that can be made. without all the politics. All right, so what's going on with Anui and Steve Fulton? Apparently, they're saying Anui is having an issue with taking random drug tests. And quiet as kept, a lot of people believe that might be why the fight got pushed back, you know, a little while ago. Because, you know, I heard Sean talk about it, I heard Mauricio Boxer talk about it, then I went and did a little research myself. And it was kind of funny watching Sean talk about that, because Sean used some colorful language, and Sean don't even usually talk like that. That's my man, though. Sean, that's guy. And Sean don't even talk like the way he was talking, but he seemed really pissed. But he's saying that basically, I don't want to use that word diva, but they say he acts real spoiled in Nui, because he said a lot of people be kissing up to him because he like the man out there. Like, damn, homie, in high school you was the man, homie. The fuck happened to you? But like, he the man out there. So, you know, it's like Burger King, he get to have it his way. But apparently it appears that it more than likely got worked out, and that, you know, I think he's doing it. But yeah, he didn't want to do it. So that's crazy when you think about that he was like tripping off that. And that's real suspect. That is suspect, but I'm not accusing him of doing anything. But that makes people like raise their eyebrows to you and be like, okay, give me the people's eyebrow, like, hey man, why don't you want to take random drug tests? At the end of the day, he should just do it, you know? But they said he been being very, hopefully, you know, hopefully he's took it. I would assume he has, because the fight is scheduled for next Tuesday, and which is gonna come on at some weird time. It's gonna come on at some weird time, like, I don't know, like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning. I probably won't be home by then. I'll be at work or leaving work. So, you know, I probably won't get to see it unless I'll call off. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update of what's going on. Devin ain't ducking nobody. And I don't want to hear that shit about y'all crying about him fighting Regis. Like, shortly after, y'all was saying that, you know, Regis is dangerous and Regis might sleep Devin Haney. So now all of a sudden, you crying about it. You saying this, you saying it's a cherry pick. Regis ain't nobody's cherry pick. You know how many people that duck Regis over the years? And once again, Devin should get credit for taking a fight like this. So I don't want to hear it. But it's looking like the location, it could be in the Bay, it could be in the ATL, it could be in New York, it could be in Vegas. So I'll have more details maybe next week, because I'm going to be going to Las Vegas. Hopefully I can meet up with Bill and then get some details. And then, you know, whatever he wants me to tell you, I'll let you guys know. But anyway, just wanted to give you an update of what's going on. It's your boy Town. I'm out.